Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Surprise Your Spirit show. I am Kendra from Surprise Your Spirit. Thank you for joining me on this lovely Thursday evening here in Saskatchewan, where by day it is spring and by night it is winter. Um, I have a really interesting show for anyone who's joining me this evening or for anyone who's catching the replay later on. We're going to be discussing the energy of money, and for new listeners, just so that you know what the Surprise Your Spirit show is all about. Here we talk about and discuss all things energy and all things spiritual. Those always include live on-air guests, free readings, free services, topics and discussions on all things energy and how energy relates to life and our spiritual and personal growth. So you will find an array of discussions, an array of guests with different knowledge and different things for people to take away. Joining me each Thursday evening. And every third Thursday of the month, we have a reoccurring guest, Andrea Osowski, who joins me, and we talk about it's something different every week. And usually it's not pre-planned. We just hop on and we decide this is what we'll talk about. So it's pretty candid. But this evening, like I said, we're going to talk about the energy of money. And I have a beautiful woman with me, Patricia Sass. She is a lifestyle coach. She is Miss Money Coach Extraordinaire, I think is how we can address her. And she's going to help us to take a look at the energy of money and how we can use it to create ease with any financial situation and help us to understand the energy of money. Um, who doesn't need this advice? I mean, I understand the energy attachment behind money, but I love having guests such as Patricia to give her expertise and perspective because it may reach more of you and she may have more to say that resonates with everyone on an energetic level to help forward and have different for us to use as well. So Patricia is someone who specializes in giving people the tools to change their point of view. And she helps to empower her clients to know what they know and to trust themselves, to really know what works for them in their own life. And she's spent her life pushing boundaries, learning and really, mastering the art of thinking outside the box and creating, wanting to create greater for herself and the people closest to her. So she's had some rebellious success by being willing to choose things that other people are afraid of and likes to look at the larger picture, at the larger picture, one that people aren't willing to look at because they just don't think it's achievable. And so she is intuitive, and for anyone who has the pleasure of meeting her in person, which I have many times, she really brightens a room with her pleasure. And so without further ado, I'm going to welcome. Good evening, Patricia. How are you?
Hi, Kendra. Bright pink shirt on tonight. Brighten up this room.
Well, that's great. I'm actually wearing a purple hoodie that says Angel Disguise.
Awesome.
I bought it for when I work on call at the hospital.
That's so
And
cool.
I don't work on call anymore, but it's still my favorite hoodie.
That is so cool. And I just to sort of dive into this money thing is I have this really big secret that I want everybody to know. And okay, I hope everybody's listening. Now, the big secret is money doesn't buy happiness, but money follows joy and happiness. So as we're having fun tonight and you're wearing your really cool sweatshirt, your hoodie, that's the fun part. And the more fun that you can have in your life, the more money that's going to appear as if by magic. So isn't that cool?
Oh, I'm super aware of this. I preach this almost every show and I love it. So I love that that's the first thing you're coming out with. So that's why you're here tonight because
Awesome.
you can pound in the concepts that I've been trying and maybe you'll reach more people than I will. Just your energy is a little different than mine.
Cool. If I get a little bit intense this evening, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. But as my intensity increases, so will my energetic gifting increase to you, your listeners, whether they're listening live or whether it will be at a future date. So I'm
That's right.
using some money energy.
Well, and for people who, just are new to this, working with energy virtual world, I'm just going to mention to them, whether you're listening live tonight or at any time in the future when you come across the podcast and listen to the replay, that's the time you need to hear this. And that's the time that the energy that Patricia is gifting to you and myself will actually be available to help you because that's when you need it.
Yes, and listen to the replays as many times as required. You'll pick up something new every time you listen.
Thank you for that. That's a great reminder. So let's not hold off because I know when we had talked about you coming on the show, you had said there was just so much that you wanted to talk about. A couple things before we dive right in. For anyone who's looking for Patricia, we're going to pop this in the chat room here. You can find her at www.patriciasas.com. And you can email her at patricia@patriciasass.com. And I'll pop that in the chat room as well for anyone who, is looking to contact Patricia or look for a session with her. And so, Patricia, when we're talking about money, do you want to delve in and just talk a little bit about the value of money and the energy behind the value of money?
Oh, yes, I would love it. So what happens, and I guess just to give a little bit of a background, is over 30 years in the financial industry. I was in banking, I was an insurance agent, a financial planner, an investment advisor, a budget counselor. So I did all those sorts of things. And what I found over the years was that people lost the actual value of money in the sense that there is no more cash. Everybody does things with debit cards, credit cards, e-transfers, and all of that. And yes, that's modern technology and that's the way things are going, and so be it. But what I find is that if you actually touch money, whether it's coins, bills, carry it around with you, sleep with it under your pillow, put it in your sock, you find that money is got this own energy of itself. And when I think of that, I think of the cartoon Donald Duck's uncle, McDuck or whatever his name was. He used to roll in piles and piles of money. And if you can just close your eyes for a moment and just sense and feel what it's like to be in a big pile of money, and it's swirling around you and swirling around your feet and it's covering you in it. And just for you, what does that feel like? There's some interesting energies going on with that one. Kendra, I'm going to ask you, what did you?
Me?
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to say because my like how I operate with money is very different and money is very dirty to me and the energy is dirty, so I don't particularly like cash. But I completely respect what you are saying.
Awesome.
Because if I can get a fresh, clean, crisp bill, I really like that.
Cool.
So you're your description of asking, how, what does it feel like? Well, I'm not sure, because what kind of money are you asking me to touch? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
right? Well, no, I'm serious, because, when you go into the store and someone gives you this crumpled old bill and it's dirty, I don't want to touch it. Even if it's $50 given back to me, it grosses me out. So if it's clean money and it's fresh money and it's come from a good place with good intentions, I'm all over that. I want lots of it in my
And,
hand.
and you are so intuitive and energy conscious, and all of that is you probably perceive all the energies that have touched that money through its cycle before it got to
Well,
you.
absolutely. Like, or I've even known the transactions that it's gone through. I can feel them or I can smell them and I don't like it.
Yes, exactly. So what I try to do with clients that I work with is try and get them to see that, or to feel that money does have an energy to it, and to be aware of what that money is to them and how it makes them feel. So I'm not going to get into any more detail on that particular part, because for everyone it's different, right?
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, when it comes down to the value of money, it's really great that you can work with people to help them to assess how they value money.
Yes.
What value is it to you? Because there's an energy behind there. And if that energy attached to your value of money is vibrating at a very low energy, guess how much money you're going to have? None.
Exactly.
And I laugh and giggle like it's no big thing as a single mom who works really hard, but it's very true. And I'm a magnificent manifester. Like, it is one of my gifts. And
Mhm.
money is my thing. Like, it's a crazy joke that I like to play with in my life. I use money to see if I can manifest it. Like, I will run funds low on purpose just to see, can I manifest? And I mean, it's so silly, but you know what? Over the past 5 years, as my gifts have developed, money has become a big teacher for me in the spiritual realm and in the energy world, in trusting that I can manifest what I need when I need it. And it's a very, very viable source and very, very easy for me to track that I am doing it in this reality, because people need to see results, right? So
Yes.
other things that you manifest, um, they come to you in unexpected ways, and people don't quite, if they're not expecting the unexpected, they often miss or reject their manifestations. But with money, it's so easy to track, because I even correlate it with, man, I got a bill. So when I moved here, and I mean, being a single mom paying two mortgages, and two sets of utility bills and all of those sorts of things, just because of the way my situation is right now, money is tight. And having a 6-year old who needs to join things and just, everyday expenses. And so I signed up for internet and whatever, and he's just like, "Oh, we have this great deal and for 4 months it's going to be this." Well, somewhere in the background, the universe must have recognized I need a little help with that. And when I got my bill, I actually got a better deal than what he offered me.
Awesome.
And so I had like 3 months worth of credits of no internet bill. And so even though the money didn't come across my hands, right, it's very trackable that I manifested that help.
Yes. And you know that one of the things that I want to say to you is that you know that you have a capacity with money. Most people do have a capacity with money, but the first step is to acknowledge that you have that capacity, and to know that you can manifest more. And really to, that ask and you shall receive, really to
Mm-hmm.
believe that, because it works.
And that is something that I talk about all the time on my shows and work within my clients is, you cannot receive unless you ask. But the other thing too is you have to believe it before you'll see it. There is no seeing it before you believe it. You
Exactly.
have to believe it is coming to you. You have to know it's going to work out in order to allow that energy to gift to you, right? But that's what I mean. Like, people can learn how to trust in the universe just with learning how to operate with the energy of money, because it is a very trackable, seeable source of what you've been gifted. Because even when you go back, you can see where you missed an opportunity or where you rejected
Yes,
receiving.
exactly. Yeah.
So
And
that's awesome.
and the other part that goes along with that is being in total gratitude of what you are receiving. Like with the bill that you got and there was more of a credit there. Like just be so grateful. And with your last Facebook live, you pulled a card for me and it
Hmm.
was, Patricia, what are you not being grateful for? And I went, oh man, okay. So now I've started myself a gratitude book and a gratitude in advance book. So all those
Hmm.
things that I desire in the future, I'm starting to be grateful for them now. So within 2 days of you pulling that card for me and me getting back into the gratitude, I won $50 on the lottery, and I haven't won anything on the lottery for like 6 months. So thanks. I'm grateful for you, Kendra.
Well, I'm grateful for you because I love this discussion, because people do not understand. We really do create our own realities and we create our own circumstances, and we really have the capacity to shift them. And I think that finances is one of the things that a lot of people, allow them to hold them back from living, the life that they need, because people don't understand that. Think of something bad enough, you found a way to make it work financially. You found a way.
Absolutely.
And if you didn't do it, you didn't want it bad enough.
Yes, exactly. Or the energy wasn't congruent enough, what you thought you desired, with what the universe knew deep down in your heart that you actually
Well,
desired, right?
well, yeah, and like I tell my clients too, even if you tried to manifest that and you really believed it, you were probably being saved from something that wasn't in your best interest at this time.
Yes.
So it's not always that you couldn't have it because of finances. You may not have been gifted the finances because the finances was the only thing stopping you, and that was the way the universe needed to hold you back from making a poor life choice,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
right?
So true.
So yeah, and so that's really cool. Oh, I had another question for you. I need to get my notebook out here, because otherwise, while you're talking and I'm thinking, I need to write them down, just because I know these are things that will help everyone else. And not only that, I know that I can learn a thing or two from you too and have a takeaway. It's never too late to learn. So, you know, why don't we talk about that piece? Oh, I know what I wanted to talk to you about when you were saying about the bill that I received. Like, I literally, when I opened that bill, so here's where ego and our logic can hurt us. Okay.
Okay.
I opened that bill and my ego went straight to, well, I should phone them. There's something wrong with my bill. What the hell? No, you should not. I actually literally threw the bill in the air and I started doing a happy dance. No news is good news, and I got a 3 month credit of bills paid for. And so, but that's where, because right away our head can take us to that negative place of that lower energy. Right away I was thinking, well, in 4 months down the line, when they realize they credited me wrong, then they're going to want it back. Do you know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
already projecting a not good situation, a not feel good situation into the future. Why the heck would you want to do that? It feels great now. I love it now. And hopefully the universe just, if there was any mishap, just wipes it away, because that's what it'll do. As long as you keep your energy raised above that lower energy situation, it can't touch you. It can't harm you. And so just making people, aware of those sorts of things too.
Yes. And another thing that I do is when something like that occurs, I take a look at it and I go, awesome. And how does it get any better than this? So you're putting it out there to the universe that you are happy and you're excited about this deal that you just got and you want more of it. So how
Yeah,
does
you're
it get
willing
any better? Yeah. Yeah.
you're willing to receive more. And simply saying, I'll have more of that, please.
Yes. That's another good one.
So, do you want to talk a bit about honoring and money, Patricia?
So with the honoring of yourself, now many years of working in the financial industry, um, we were always told to tell our clients that we had to tell them to put away 10% of their money in an emergency fund so that if there was an emergency that they'd have this money there and whatever else. Well, I got to thinking, you're going to create an emergency if you have this emergency fund and you want the money out of there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what I tell my clients is to set up an account, and whether it be in cash, a savings account, whatever feels good to you, is when you get money in, whether it's your paycheck or baby bonuses or whatever it is, take 10% of that money and put it away as an honoring for you. And you're showing the universe that you value you, not the bill payers, the mortgage company, the whatever. You value you first. And then the universe will continue to gift you money in different ways as an honoring to you because you are honoring yourself and the universe wants to help you with that. So a 10% account for you, valuing you, is so much fun. And then you always have money. Those days that you feel really broke? Well, you can just go to this special savings account and go, oh, look at that, I have money.
Yep. That's my for fun money.
hmm
I
Just for
call it
fun.
my
Yeah,
for fun account.
just for me, just for fun, never tell anyone.
Exactly. Yep. Yepers. That's exactly it. I wasn't gonna go there. But you did. I think we were just right in sync there in the thinking. uh so and that's for all the listeners out there, that's what Patricia and I were talking about in the very beginning, and what I reiterate about everything in life. Money follows joy, success follows joy, any feel good things follow joy. So when you're taking those steps to create joy in your life, you get gifted in other areas of your life where you need more joy. That's how you do it. Pick one area and work on it.
Yes.
You need to keep a balance of creating in all areas of your life, but there are going to be times where one is adding more joy to your life than others. So making sure you're feeding more energy into that because it's more joy energy, and a little bit less into those energies that aren't so feel good, so that you can have the universe feed back into those not so feel so good energies to raise the vibration into feel goods, to bring yourself back into balance, is really important. So, if anyone is wanting to look at and learn how to, identify and resonate and recognize the energy of money, please give Patricia a call. She can definitely help you out. Now, fun and money. I mean, we could go so many places with this. Where do you want to go?
Well, I think we've spoken enough about fun and money, and it is just that. It is the joy of living, celebrating life, um, dancing in the kitchen. When my daughters were little, every Sunday morning, I would put on Rock with the Doc on the radio and music from the 60s, and I'd be dancing in the kitchen making pancakes. And, it's just the little things that you find enjoyment in. And it doesn't matter what that is, you know what that will be for you. What's fun for you?
I'm gonna tell the callers what's fun for me with money. Honestly, my little boy getting a blizzard like lights up his world. And
Aw,
I mean, really, it's $4, right?
yeah.
So once a week, we have a blizzard date. And it is just pure joy for me to watch how much joy it is for him. And it costs us $8. And we're gifting to ourselves, but we have so much fun because we people watch and we talk and we act silly and we do our thing, right? We have an $8 date, and that's how I have fun with my money. I really recognize where, and that's the other thing too, people need to understand is you need to have a balance with where you're spending your money. When you're spending it, is it adding joy? Because if you're always paying bills with your money, guess what you attract? There's not feel good energy behind that.
Yes.
So making sure that when you're spending money, there's some there for you, and it doesn't have to be loads of like an amount. It just has to be this $8 is for me, and I completely enjoy it. So there has to be some fun behind those transactions.
Absolutely. Oh, that sounds like fun. When are we going for a blizzard? Can you make
I
room for
know.
one more?
Next time I'm in town.
Sounds
Tomorrow.
good. Awesome.
All right. So we're going to stop for a short break here, guys, and we'll catch you on the other side of the break. Patricia is going to talk to us a little bit about budgeting and debts and goals and the energies behind that and how we can deal with some of those things. And in the meanwhile, we're going to pop in, we can pop the number in the chat room here. If anyone has any basic questions for Patricia, they can feel free to call in or pop into the chat room and ask them, and we'd be happy to help them. And we will catch you guys on the other side of the break here.
Off the Cuff e-Zine, an online magazine that is given out freely. The wide range of promotional is unlimited. We take pride in bringing it all together for you. And we recognize that it is hard to reach a lot of people by just having a website, or even those writers that do not have the means to advertise or have a website. This website will provide its free services of advertising and giving others a platform to share their experiences, skills, and ability. For we believe that it is through others we learn not only of others but of ourselves as well. So, if you need a chat room to hold sessions, we can provide that with audio and video for classes, workshops, or just single sessions. Contact us to see what we can provide with our special features and promotional experience. And it is all free. Yes, free. Join us and meet other like-minded people, because that is what makes OTC the place to be. OffTheCuffDesign.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Surprise Your Spirit show. I'm Kendra, the host. I normally say that in the beginning. For some reason, I'm thinking I didn't. I am the owner of Surprise Your Spirit. This is a show where we talk about all things energy. Tonight, I have Patricia Sass, lifestyle coach, money coach extraordinaire. We're talking about the energy of money. If you're just joining us, you might want to listen to the podcast and listen to the replay. We've talked about the value of money, the gratitude in money, and how honoring money and making sure that money is used in conjunction with fun. Some really good information there and some understandings. And so we're just going to dive right in here because I know she has a lot to share with us. And um, Patricia, do you want to share with the listeners out there about the energy behind budgets and debts and goals, and what happens with those energies and what they can do to deal with them?
Yes, thanks, Kendra. So when I say those three words, budgets, goals,
Oh, does that bring a not feel good energy because we are taught to dislike those words?
yes, exactly. So I'm going to take each one of those words and I'm just going to give you some, I guess, suggestions on how to look at them so that you can change the energy on it. So the word budgets. When I think of budgets, I think, oh my goodness, you got to write down everything you spend and you got to work within your paycheck and you got to do this and you got to do that. Well, what if a budget was just simply knowing what your monthly expenses were? Just be aware of how much money is required every month and just leave it at that. Don't nickel and dime everything and just know, just be aware. And the second one, debts. Well, the word debts is kind of yucky, so I refer to debts as past expenditures. And I guess a suggestion for the people out there who have, say, large credit card debt. Please don't carry your credit cards with you because you're carrying your debt around with you. Now, how good does that feel? Credit cards are there for whatever it is that you use them for. If you have yourself in a position where those credit cards are creating more debt, more past expenditures, put them away, use cash, use your Interact card so that it's, an immediate out, and please stop carrying your debt around with you. Um, Goals. So goals to me are very limiting. So let's say that you have a goal that by age 30, you would like to have $100,000 sitting in the bank. So if you get to be 29 and you only got 50 bucks in the bank, what are you going to do now? Right? And I like to refer to goals more so as targets. So you have a target, but targets are always moving. So as things are created in your life, things you're creating, things you find to purchase, extra jobs you have or whatever else, then you can adjust your targets as things in your life are created and expanded on. Anything there, Kendra? Is there? I'm sensing a very interesting energy. Maybe you can help me read in on that. Have I got people's heads spinning?
Yeah, no, this is something that we talked about on another show, I do believe. You know what, I could be lying because I do shows and Facebook Lives and I have another radio show, so sometimes it all blurs together.
Okay.
But, okay, so I'm actually just going to touch on what Patricia says. So in Patricia's perspective, Target works for her. In my perspective, Target doesn't work for me because I think of darts and your target doesn't move. Okay. So depending on your perspective is where it sits, but take her perspective into account and listen to it because now you can recognize what she's talking about and use some of the information um, for you to address what is really your perspective on a goal and a target and how can you open it up to make it work better for you. I prefer the word intention. My intention is to have this, but your intention comes with the understanding that life is always fluctuating. So you can move intentions too, right? You still have that intention, but there is an actual a time period put to it. It allows you the width. So that's only what I was thinking. And I think that I'm just really aware of how, I think you got aware of how, when you said target, people started to like, okay, well, when you're, play shooting, the target moves. But when you throw darts, your target moves. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I love that word intention. Thank you so much for that one. That is awesome.
Well, you're welcome. See, you came out here to teach us, and I gifted you something.
Yes, I'm so grateful. Thank you.
But yeah, no, like I really, the intention you have with your explanation was right on and it's very easy to understand. But I think the energy you detected was the confusion that people had about it. But so think about what Patricia says, replay this and listen to it because it is very, very true. Goals, the word goal, we are brought up in society, there's a lot of pressure attached to it. And pressure does not create ease in your life. It creates you to force things. And when you force, the universe pushes back. So, just recognizing that with your finances.
Exactly.
Patricia, we have a comment from Linda in the chat room. She wants to know how you advise someone with joint money, such as a husband and wife, when one of them is spending irresponsibly. Oh, so many things come to me about this, but I'm going to let you handle this.
Well, first of all, what I do is, it's a really sticky situation with the joint money part. From my point of view, is to set up a bank account where you each contribute whatever it is you contribute to the household, the mortgage payment, the whatever, and that you each have your own money, and that's your honoring and valuing you. And that way you have that money to spend the way you want. What's going to make you happy, what you require. I'm just going to use an example here. My marriage, when I was 18 years old, I was married for 6 years, and my husband used to take my paycheck, and he used to pay the bills, and there was money sitting there. But if I wanted to buy a new pair of shoes, I had to pick a pair of shoes that had an inch or less heel, and I had to bring them home on approval. Back in the day, we could take things from the store on approval. And if he said it was okay, the shoes were fine, he would give me the money to buy them. And ever since then, I have always had my own money if I've been with a partner or husband or whatever else. So that's my point of view on it.
But I'm just going to, are you done, Patricia? I don't want to cut you off.
I'm never done.
But I want to, okay, I'm going to stop you there for a minute, so hold your thought. Because when I talked about marriages on one of my shows and explaining to people that it is so important when you in a relationship, any relationship, not just a marriage, that you remember you, because there's mine, yours, and ours. And it has to stay that way all the time in order for it to operate and sustain itself. That is the same with a joint money relationship. If
Yes.
you don't have a mine, yours, and ours, it's not sustain itself on some level. You lose the energy flow. It gets cut and it cuts off and it is attached to someone's joy. Just like in a marriage, if the parties themselves in the entity of the marriage and the two individuals, because the marriage is created by the two individuals' energies, well, if they all start to mold together and they're lost in each other, there is really no marriage anymore because the two entities creating it are gone.
Yes. That is awesome. Yours, mine, and ours.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you.
So, anyways, carry on. What else can you tell us about that?
The only other thing I was going to say is that there are probably a lot of beliefs that are attached to joint money, or feeling selfish if you have your own money. So this is where I would work one-on-one with a client to see what those actual beliefs and points of view were, to see where we can sort of chisel it out and change that type of energy on it. So that's the only other thing I was going to add to that.
Perfect. So I hope that helps everyone. Linda, I hope that answers your question. Do you want to talk with the listeners about some words that must be eliminated from their vocabularies, Patricia, in order to help them sustain a better flow?
Yes, I've got 4 key words that are basically destroying or decaying your future rather than creating it. So the first word is want. And if you take a look at the dictionary, and I think it's pre-1946, what the word want means is to lack. So if you say, I want a new car, you're actually saying, I lack a new car. And that's what the universe hears.
What you need to say is, I'm going to have a new car.
Exactly. So use the word have instead of want. And then the next word is need. So
I'm sorry, I love this.
The word need has an energy of poverty to it. It makes it sound like you're needy. And you really don't need anything. It's what you desire to have, what you would like to have, what would be fun for you to have. You don't need anything, right? You don't need food. Like your body will probably starve, but you know what? We could last quite a while without having food. So get out of the need. Anything more there, Kendra? You found that one funny?
Oh, I like so many things. Actually, I've actually been doing some studying about like actually our bodies needing food and water and like some spiritual and energy attachments to that. And I'm finding some really crazy documented like results on how much we actually don't need them, but people just aren't aware. Because as you change your vibration, your needs actually change because your DNA actually changes as your vibration shifts. So then your body requirements are different.
Yes. Yes, I did read something on that. Awesome.
So it just brings new perspective to people, like, needing is attached to your energetic vibration. So really take a look at that. What are you vibrating at? What energy are you gifting to the universe? Because that's what it's gifting back to you.
Yeah. And third word is can't. So really, there's nothing you cannot do or be. Now, it's all about your willingness to do it. So maybe you just don't feel like you'd like to do that. It's not that you can't. So get rid of the word can't. And especially when it comes to things like, I can't afford that. You know what? Maybe it's more so of a, I'm going to have that, but not today, right? And then the last word is try. So
Can I say something there for Patricia about I can't
can't?
have that, or I can have that, but maybe not today?
Yep. Yep. Go ahead.
For me, it's like I'm getting that when the universe is ready to give it to me.
Yep. Oh, that's got
Yes,
some yummy energy on it.
I know it does. I was like, what am I having? You carry on, go ahead.
And then the last word is try. There's no such thing as try. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. So,
It's choice.
yeah, exactly. It is a total choice. It's not a try. If you're trying, you've already decided you're not going to do it.
Yep. Or do my best. Like I'm choosing to do it and I'll do my best is better than try.
Yeah.
Okay, I love those. Oh, Linda just popped in the chat room here. Do or do not, period. There is no try, from quoted from Yoda.
And the other saying I have on that one is either you're in it or you're in the way.
Exactly. Totally. I totally understand. So, um, just for everyone out there, we're getting down to the end of time here. I just want to mention, Patricia, that for all the listeners, you can actually get a 20-minute complimentary coaching laser session. Any topic with Patricia. If you like her Facebook page, Patricia Sass, Lifestyle Coach on Facebook. Correct, Patricia?
Yep, correct. Thank you.
And then step number 2 is to go to her website and under the contact tab, send her an email and let her know that you listened to the Surprise Your Spirit show here tonight, where she was a guest. Whether it's a live or the replay, it doesn't matter. She has told me. And then you can get a 20-minute complimentary session with her. That's a very nice gifting.
Oh, I
I
just
wonder
find that
how many. Go
so
ahead.
much fun. It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wonder how many people will choose that for themselves. I mean, like, really, what can a 20-minute complimentary session do for them? And maybe that 20 minutes can shift something for them and it'll change their whole world.
Yeah.
So, Patricia, do you want to tell the listeners again how to get their 20-minute complimentary session from you?
Yes. So first of all, go over to my Facebook page, and it's Patricia Sass, Lifestyle Coach. Like that page, and then head over to my website, which is www.patriciasass.com. And under the contacts tab, just send me an email. Let me know that you listened to Kendra's Surprise Your Spirit show. And it doesn't matter if it was live or a replay. And, send me your information and we'll set up a time for 20-minute complimentary coaching laser session. So 20 minutes of focused. We're going to cut through some stuff. It's kind of no BS.
Such a great opportunity, and thank you for sharing that with everyone, that opportunity, Patricia. I really hope some people will take advantage of that and see what they do. If there's anyone out there struggling or perceiving themselves as struggling with finances, please reach out to Patricia. I know she has here and shared with me that it can be on any topic in your life, but really talk to her about finances. If there's anyone out there needing a little bit, see what you can do with that. It can really help you out. All of the listings, which in the chat, which are also come up with the replay as well, they are there. her link to her Facebook page has been put in there, and also the link to her website has also been posted in there as well. So it is very easy for you guys to find and use. And before I do some wrapping up here, Patricia, is there anything you'd like to, any last tidbits you want to talk about before we go?
Yeah, you know what? I guess one thing I do want to say is that your point of view creates your reality. So, like I have a friend that I was chatting with, and he said to me, "Man, I'm going to have to work for the rest of my life." You
Well, way to
know,
create
you might
that.
die on the job. You might die on the job. So please just be mindful of what you're saying and what you're thinking. So that is one thing. And I guess just to sort of summarize things, I'll just take a few seconds here. Tips to get started to create something greater. Please start yourself that 10% account, valuing and honoring you for having money. You will have money. The other thing that I find really cool is carry around the amount of money you think a rich person would carry. And that might be that might be $100, that might be $500, and I'm not going to tell you how much I carry. And you don't have to carry that in actual.
You'll be getting mugged by the listeners on the street. I'll be getting a whole bunch of emails for Patricia's address.
Awesome.
Don't worry, I got your back, Patricia. I won't tell them.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Smell the money, follow your nose.
And that money can also be in the form of jewelry or something. So if you have, a diamond ring, a gold necklace, or something like that, that also contributes to the amount that you think a rich person would carry. And for anybody who is in tune with crystals, I've been carrying around citrine crystal.
Yeah, I did one of these on the show actually and talked all about how it helps with finances.
Oh, yes. And it attracts wealth. So I've been carrying one around with me for the last couple weeks. So, universe, show me the money.
Patricia,
Hi.
is it touching you constantly?
No.
Get it in a ring or in a bracelet or a pendant where it's constantly physically touching your skin.
Can I put it in my bra?
Because yeah, sure, and your bra is perfect. Love that. But yeah, just so people know, if it actually touches your physical body, it actually increases the intensity of how it can help your energetic field. So
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. And that's all I have to say. Thank you so much.
that's all you have.
Oh, well, that's all I have for now.
Oh no, don't kid yourself. I know you well enough. That's not all you have to say. But no, that hour flew by so fast. It's jam-packed full of information. I want to thank you for joining us this evening and sharing, your perspectives and some pointers that I think are fabulous and that I follow well for myself. For your expertise and for your ideas and simply for your time. And I'm grateful for you and what you bring to the planet, and keep doing what you're doing. And I hope to have you back in the future, and maybe we can dive a little deeper into some of this. And thank you so much for, gifting to the listeners the opportunity to have a session with you and maybe open up some things for themselves. I really appreciate that.
Great. Thank you so much for the invite, Kendra. This has been a fun hour, and yeah, I would love to come back on. And you know what? Thank you for adding a little more knowledge to my head and my energy field.
You're going to get a card in the mail saying, remember the word intentions.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's been my pleasure, and thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
So we are done this evening. I hope everybody's enjoyed tonight's show with Miss Patricia Saz, lifestyle coach, money coach extraordinaire. I hope everyone learned something this evening. Please find her on Facebook at Patricia Sass, lifestyle coach, at patriciasass.com. Take advantage of her, free offer to do 20 minutes with her. I will be back next Thursday. I'm not going to apologize for not being around last Thursday. I know everyone loves Andrea Zowski. I love my time with her. I was not feeling well. I actually tried to push it out, and I messaged the producer literally like 45 minutes before the show and was like, we just can't do this. And Andrea wasn't feeling well either. So it just wasn't meant to be. But Andrea is going to pop in probably maybe twice this month if we can get her in. And we will talk about some things. So sorry I missed you guys last week. I will be back next week. I will be talking about spirit animals. So doing some discussion about that. I will also be willing to take some calls to discuss spirit animals if anyone is interested. And I'd really encourage everyone to pop into the chat, say hello, let us know you're there. So once again, thank you for joining the Surprise Your Spirit show. It's been a wonderful evening with everyone tonight, and I hope to see you all next week. Have a good night.
Hello and welcome. You're listening to OTCR, the radio station that shines and shares its light with